Someone left a message in the comment area saying that China's health problems are more worthy of attention than India's. China is the only country in the world that has not eradicated polio. I then went to Google and found that there was no such thing. China's vaccine system has always been quite strict. On the contrary, in 2021, in Maharashtra, India, medical staff used hand sanitizer as polio vaccine for children, causing 12 children to be hospitalized. I didn't want to debate with such an ignorant person, but since he mentioned health issues, let's discuss India's health problems. The countries and regions with the highest average life expectancy in the world are Singapore, Hong Kong, Macau, and Japan, all around 85 years old. Northern and Western European countries are about 80 to 85 years old, and China is 78 to 79 years old, higher than the United States, 76 years old. The average life expectancy in India is 67 years old, much lower than China. A hot topic these days is that Bill Gates said that India is like a laboratory, treating Indians as guinea pigs. Such words and deeds have aroused the anger of Indians, but this is a well-known fact. India is the dirtiest country in the world and the most polluted country. A large number of Indians live in a cesspool-like environment and cannot get clean food and drinking water. India is the country with the most generic drugs in the world, and many Chinese even buy low-priced generic drugs from India. However, India's pharmaceutical industry does not have core technology, and its raw materials are heavily dependent on China and other countries. India's laws protect generic drugs, which have been strongly condemned by Western countries, who believe that India does not respect the intellectual property rights of Western companies. But Western countries have also gained some benefits, that is, using India's huge population for experiments. Due to the low economic level and imperfect laws, Western pharmaceutical companies generally conduct experiments through Indian institutions and use Indians as guinea pigs. Bill Gates himself has extensive experience in the medical industry, and he just accidentally said this fact. Therefore, Western countries rarely pay attention to the fact that Indians live in a cesspool-like environment. Because the dirtier and more unhealthy India is, the more it is in line with Western interests. If India becomes as clean as China, where can they find so many guinea pigs? Even if it is cheap generic drugs produced locally in India, most Indians at the bottom can't afford it. India's poor medical system means that ordinary people either recover on their own or wait to die in backward public hospitals after getting sick. During the COVID-19 pandemic, major countries in the world developed their own vaccines and vaccinated people for free. India, however, directly implemented herd immunity, resulting in the death of a large number of people. Indian politicians not only do not feel ashamed, but also perform a farce of using cow urine to fight viruses in front of the TV camera, becoming a joke around the world. Life expectancy cannot be faked, and it largely reflects the level of development of a country. At the same time, the rich in India not only have the most wealth in the world, but also have their own independent consumption environment and medical security system. There is a huge gap between the rich areas in India and the areas where ordinary people live, so that many Indians often comment when they see Chinese videos. This is their rich area. In fact, in China, rich areas do exist, and housing prices are higher than ordinary places, but the gap between different communities in a city is very small. The main difference in housing prices comes from school districts, not infrastructure and environment. Ordinary Chinese people live with far more dignity than Indians. China's medical security level is behind that of developed countries such as Japan and Singapore, but it is more than 100 years ahead of India. What is even more tragic is that many Indians living in slums, earning $5 a day and sharing one mobile phone with several people, like the liar Modi's dream of Bharat Renaissance and indulge in the dream of superpower and military power. I want to say to these fools, you should pay attention to the wires you have privately connected to the electricity power system and see if they can last until tomorrow. I believe that the medicine Indians need most is the medicine to cure stupidity, and the medicine cannot be stopped.